Hi there, Jason here for the Hagbayon channel and TMS Talks. We've been posting hiking videos, guitar videos even, blade features, prepping videos, preppers items. However, in a previous episode, we discussed the Bikol kris and the baed. The Bikol kris and the baed. And somehow we were able to show some types of Bikol hilt carvings as well. And we somehow intimated that Bikol hilt carvings are among the most identifiable features of a Bicol blade or of Bicol blade culture. We even said that the Kinabayo hilt is usually found in the Minasbad. In the Minasbad. Somehow we figured that for the Suanoy or the elders, the Kinabayo actually fits the Minasbad for some reason. And the Bicol tenegre is usually found in the baed, in the ginunting, in the sinampaloc, kwastari, ginugun profiles of Bicol blades. We also said that the Bicol tenegre is actually a hilt carving only, whereas when we talk of the tenegre in Visayan blade culture, the same actually alludes to a blade or a bolo. For the Visayans, the tenegre is a blade or a sword, while for the Bicolnons, it's merely a what? It's merely a hilt carving. Now, the question now is, what are the various Bicol hilt carvings? What are the various Bicol hilt carvings? We have been mentioning the Kinabayo, the Inayam, the Tenegre, the Pinaniki, the Kinabalang, and other Bicol hilt carvings. Now we will first talk about the most common, the Kinabayo. But before that, let me show you some blades that I've been working on lately. I think I haven't shown you this one. This blade. It is actually a knife. Just had this worked on and polished. Okay, this is of Kinulata hilt. And I'll show you a pair of wastari that I have been working on. Sorry about the lights. This. There. Just polished them. This one also. There. They are a thing of beauty. Alright. Now let's go back to the Kinabayo hilt. Now let's look at one of the vintage Kinabayo hilt that we have here. However, we will still look at the Cimarron Armory later, or the TMS gallery for more samples of vintage hilt carvings. We'll just talk about what we have here. This is a vintage Kinabayo hilt. So you can see that it's really quite old already. And this used to be part of a sinagangan Minasbad, basing on the hole here where the sagang used to be attached. You can still see and observe the ferrule or the tikala that is made of bronze. Grooves are still here, and this is this used to be where the tongue protruded. So from here to here, This is a Kinabayo, a Kinabayo hilt. So let me also show you a Kinabayo that is still attached to a blade. This one, it's a Kinabayo. It's a Kinabayo, okay, that's still attached to a blade. Minasbad blade. See, still attached to a blade. Sinagangan with round tip. Another thing is this one. Right. Kinabayo hilt attached to a saber type wide Minasbad. Another Kinabayo hilt, however, this time attached to a pinaldos, to a saber type thin Minasbad. So this light there. So it's trying to spook us out. There. This is vintage, a little bit deformed but still good. That's the Kinabayo hilt. It's a Kinabayo hilt. Sir Lawrence Lasco, the scholar, showed me a 300-year-old chicken head dagger hilt, alluding to a particular chicken god or rooster god. That's one of the oldest hilt carving that I have ever seen. Now the question now is the Minasbad pre-Hispanic or prehistoric, or is the Kinabayo hilt pre-Hispanic or prehistoric as well? We need more evidence on this, and we need more research on this, particularly on the area of archaeology, on the area of what? On the area of carbon dating. There's a need for carbon dating on these items. And I surmise that one thing we can do is to carbon date items or specimens that are in European and American collections. Usually they are reported as 16th century, 18th century, 17th century, but who knows? Maybe if we carbon date them, we'll find out their real age. Another thing is there is a culture among Bikol nuns of what? Of burning or throwing away by burning hilts like this. Bikol nuns would what? When would use the hilt, a discarded hilt, to start up a fire or pagsisiga. Okay, that's one thing. That's why perhaps there are some samples that we cannot find anymore. Because of that practice. So I endeavor also as a researcher and involved in blade building to actually research and actually look for things like this and actually keep them for posterity. We will show in this channel more samples of vintage hilts. What could hilts be symbolizing? You see people think in symbols and images as well, based on their milieu. Okay, and these images and these symbols reflect their ideology, their philosophy, their psyche. Okay, it's a way of sending a message. It's a way of psyching their minds. It's a way of being spiritual as well. It's part of their spirituality or worship. As a matter of fact, the Spaniards noticed when they got to the Philippines in the early days that we did not have, well, except for Darajas in some seaports like Manila and Cebu. Most pre-Hispanic or prehistoric Filipinos never had any any centralized kind of form of government, but they had a very informal form of government. However, one thing they had was worship, their indigenous worship. So from there, could have been that these symbols actually alluded to something related to their spirituality, etc., etc. Um, um, However, Dr. Lawrence Lasco once mentioned to me about the Asoria Triangle, a feature of the Bikol HILT that could be a sign that there is Hindu influence in Bicol blade culture or Bicol culture in general. We know very well that before the Spaniards came, we were already in trade relations with other other countries, other other civilizations, China, India, etc. Now let's look for a sample with Asoria Triangle. Soria, Sorya. Okay, Asoria Triangle. Oh, this one. Asoria Triangle, present in Bicol blade, Asoria Triangle, etc. Let's check this out. If it has a kind of a Asoria Triangle, there is there in the back. Asoria Triangle, Asoria Triangle. This one as well. Asoria Triangle. Now, this could be a sign that there is what Indian connection, Indian connection with in Bicol blade culture, particularly that one of the epic heroes or in the Ibalong epic, Baltog, is actually depicted in the epic as a fair-skinned Aryan, okay, Aryan from Boltavara. Okay, Baltog as a fair-skinned Aryan from Boltavara. So, indeed, there is a kind of a connection between Bicol and India. So, when we study all these elements in Bicol blade culture, we look at it as Bicol culture. However, we still have to consider possible influences from other civilizations. In fact, in the same previous lecture by Lawrence Lasco, Dr. Lawrence Lasco, he mentioned also that the labor, this one, the engraving on the blade itself, we call that a labor. Look at that, beautiful. He surmised that it somehow resembles Macario Sakai's anting-anting in the form of a clothing print. Previously, Bicolanos or blade scholars as well in Bicol used to allude to this engraving as merely a representation of vegetation or of nature. However, there is a kind of a finding right now that what if it is related to spirituality and to something more talismanic, okay, to a talisman culture. Okay. We'll talk about talisman culture of Bicol in some future episode. There's also a belief that the Kinabayo HILT is actually a representation of the tikbalang or the actually in Bicol culture there is a tikbalang and there is also what's this another entity, kapingis. However, the kapingis has longer legs and extremities, while the tikbalang is, a tikbalang with human body and head of a horse. Now, there is an oral tradition here that if you catch a tikbalang and be able to acquire its spine, it can work as what? It can work as talisman, or it can give you supernatural powers. So another term for the Bikol hilt carving, that is the Kinabayo, is the so-called what? The so-called onglo or inonglo. Because in Bicol, the tikbalang is actually called onglo there. So from there's a belief that if you have a minasbad, then you have something like a power derived from an onglo. That's one what? That's one theory again for the minasbad. That this could be a representation of the spine of a tikbalang. But we need more research on that matter. For Dr. Lawrence Lasco, the rabot is one of the possible items that could be related to the hilt carving. Rabot is a magical half man, half monster who turned people into stone and was defeated and slain by Yang Bantong by his lonesome using his bolo, despite having been assigned 1,000 men by Hanjong to assist him. And in the epic, when the people, including Hanjong, saw Rabot's ugly and fearsome carcass, they were dumbfounded or stunned, or in Bicol parlance, naanayo. So naanayo. And in fact, if you have read Ibalong epic, that's when the epic actually ends. Okay, after that scene wherein everyone got stunned. Everyone was what? Dumbfounded by how fearsome, how terrible Rabot actually looked like. But for Dr. Lilia Rialobit, it could be that Hanjong, etc., and company saw it as an end of an era, an end of legends, folk legends, and etc., and mythical what, entities and creatures, and going forward to a more modern era. There. However, for me, for my part, I would like to add that the Bicol hilt carving Kinabayo could also be what? An allusion to the Sarimaw, Halimaw or Sarimaw in the same Ibalong epic. You see, the Sarimaw were vengeful monsters exiled by Hanjong himself at Mount Kulasi. They were vengeful monsters exiled by Hanjong at Mount Kulasi. Said monsters were known to be vengeful mercenary style, lashing at those who wronged others and are not paying for their crimes. They are somewhat like EGK monsters, extrajudicial killing monsters, so to speak, taking the law into their own hands. Somehow very inspiring, I think, to the outlaws that were the Cimarrones. So there's my belief that the Bicol hilt carving, the Kinabayo, could be related to the Sarimaw from the same Ibalong epic. Because I think the Sarimaw inspired the Cimarrones because they were outlaws themselves. Because Sarimaws were, in essence, like outlaws. Okay. There. There's also another hilt carving, but we're gonna talk about it in passing. The Bicol tenegre. The Bicol tenegre somehow is like a smiling deity, smiling smiling anito or something. Related perhaps to the Tagongirit oral tradition. We'll talk about that more in a later episode, the Tagongirit Dr. Lasco actually found amusing and related it to the tango, which is found in Lisboa's dictionary. The tango. So said that maybe it's related to tango, the tagong hirit, etc. The tango, which is a word found in Lisboa's dictionary. And the bat head, the pinaniki. There's a theory that I am trying to espouse that it could again be what a sign of a relation between the Visayans and the Bicolanos, because in the Hinilawod epic there is a mythical bat there, a mythical bat that actually is now a hilt carving in one of their bolos or blades there. Experts there here in Visayan, in Visayan blade culture. Do we have experts here in Visayan blade culture? What do you call the blade in what do you call the Visayan blade with a bat head, or the mythical bat head, which is derived from the Hinilawod epic? The Hinilawod epic. Could be that the pinaniki of the Bikols are also from the what? The pinaniki. I don't know, from the Hinilawod epic. A sign of connection between the Visayans and the Bicolanos once again. Okay, join me again next time as we talk about blade culture and more of Bicol hilt carvings. I'll be showing you my collection of Bicol hilt carvings, and again reiterate all these ideas that we have just mentioned. Perhaps add more details. Thank you, and be safe, and remember, the pen is mightier with the sword. Thank you.